Hi, I'm Katessa Harkey, and I'm the storyteller of Spiral Cult Circus. For those of you that may not be aware, we're a small hermetic fraternal order operating in Portland, Oregon. We serve primarily the youth activist and artist community. The vast majority of us identify as some kind of queer, and the vast majority of us are also involved in one way or another in the BDSM community. So I have something to tell you, and it's very important. For the last 2 years, I've been responsible for a community transparency project that was a whole collection of individuals created a survey instrument, and I've been shepherding it along and trying to get people to take it, and it was finally my task recently to analyze the collected data. And what's been revealed is that accusations of consent violations are rampant. And the way that our leaders at events are handling this, by and large, are not in accordance with the desires that people actually expressed on the survey instrument. And there's a huge mismatch between our beliefs and our values and where even we're at in our own ability levels according to ourselves, according to what we said about ourselves as a community, versus how people are being treated when something like this comes up. And we need to address this soon. It's damaging people. It's breaking up relationships. It's ending with people who are good people being thrown out of community over what amount to misunderstandings. Now, a significant portion of this may well be related to the fact that we don't agree, all of us, on what the definition of the word consent even is. There's 3 different operational definitions running around, and we need to look at this. We need to work on this. We need to sit down and talk. The consent programming that is available at present is, in many cases, decades out of date. The material has not actually been updated significantly in quite some time, and the programming that is there is been made to work in the context of a facilitated workshop. Now, you and I both know that that isn't the way it actually works in the real world. That isn't what you do when you go into a bedroom with somebody. And if we're not teaching people how to achieve consent in any environment where there is no authority present to tell you what you should and should not do and to look over your shoulder and to make sure you're doing it right, then we're not teaching people how to be adults about their sexuality. And that is essentially what I've found here, is that we're now in a place where we're looking to organizers, we're looking to leadership to cast judgment on people after the fact when they didn't see it, they didn't, they couldn't possibly judge, even if they had a right to, what you did in your own bedroom or back in your own tent. And the ramifications of this are massive. And I think every event organizer, whether you consider yourself to be in a consent community or not, if people are having sex or are probably going to have sex at your event, you need to know this, because this is not information that is being told to the general public, even though we all know that these things happen. And we need to be honest with each other. We need to break the silence around this because it's happening more and more. And now that there's the social media connections are what they are, it is now happening online that people are being accused of things that they may or may not have done. And it's ruining their lives. And there's no telling whether the people have actually committed any wrongdoing that is worthy of that, and who's to decide. So the other thing about this is that it's clear from the study, from the data that was returned, that the vast majority of participants do not want permanent exclusion to even be on the table. All right, so this is something that we all need to look at, and I am publishing the survey analysis that I have made. The raw data will also be made available so that you can certainly do your own analysis if you would like to. But this is what we have found. And back at the beginning of this, I said that there would be a community meeting. This is the community meeting, all right? This is the best I can do for you because this organization has not accepted money from anyone. We have not sponsored any events. We have not done any fundraising. We have not collected, I have not taken any kind of pay for the work that I have done, and I won't, because that is really ultimately what this is about. The people who are making these decisions for us, they're event producers, okay? They're looking out for their own bottom line. They're looking out for their own reputations and the reputations of their events. They're not looking out for us anymore. And it's a damn shame. And I don't know what else to do other than to give this information to you, the community, so that you can go back to your leaders and try and hold them accountable. And I'll do the best I can from here to hold mine accountable too. And we need to work together to build processes that are actually fair and that actually work. And we need to actually be the sort of people who take responsibility for our own sexuality and who will actually say no if what we mean is no. Because if we don't say no, then how is our partner supposed to know whether we do or don't want it? And worse than that, if there's people running around who won't use their no, and we lower the bar to that level, then if you can't trust everyone to use their no, then you can't trust anyone's yes either. So, here's the deal, friends. On 5 separate occasions over the period of the study, someone else tried to convince me to say that someone had violated my consent when they in fact had not. And this was extremely traumatic and difficult for me because some of this involved outright gaslighting. And you should never try and tell somebody that their consent has been violated, because if you manage to convince them, then from that point forward, it will be as if the violation had actually occurred. And that is what people tried to do to me, basically because I was known to be running this study. And this is what happens to you if you get involved deeply in consent activism, you find very quickly that the name of the game is climb over other people to get up the ladder. And that's my lived experience. That's the truth. And I'm sorry if it offends you. I love you all, and I have done my best. Please read the study analysis and pass it on. Katessa Harkey, signing off.